Hi, welcome back to the channel. If you have been following me on my other channel, or if you know anything about me or follow me on any socials, you know that I am a strong believer that your network is what makes you who you are. And I have a lot of stories that I can tell you about what my network has done for me. I have had people in my network who opened doors that I never imagined existed, leave alone can be opened. So, this is the reason why I believe that one of the things that every professional needs to do is have a very good, strong network. And I also believe that your network, especially with people who are your peers, can also be very invaluable. One of the networking associations that I'm a member of is the Executive PA Network of Geneva. And in this network, I have met amazing people. The person that I'm going to interview next is one of those people that I met through that network. And her passion for networking is just so great that she actually teaches people how to network and how to build your network, how to basically get out of your shell and be great at networking. So, Daniela, this is not the first time that I'm interviewing her. She's also interviewed me once. I guess we are doing a lot of back and forth with the networking. But you know what? This is another thing about your network. You can use them to try out things. You can use them to try out, like I use my network quite a lot to try out what I'm doing on my interviews before I start interviewing strangers. Most of the people that I've actually ever interviewed were people from my network, my comfort zone. So maybe it's a good thing, maybe it's a bad thing, but all I can say is it's something that really, really works well because I tend to have a network that has people with all different skills. So let's get started on my interview with Daniela and let's figure out how networking is important. Hi, Daniela. Welcome back to my new channel. Look like
Thank
you're in a
you.
beach. It's really beautiful.
Exactly. Summertime.
Yes. So, since we've already interviewed you before, I'm not even going to ask you to go give your background, but I just
Yeah.
want to ask you, as you presented yourself last time, you have lived in different continents, you have had different careers. What has been the key to navigating your transitions through the different places?
I think the key is really like be a someone open-minded and adapt yourself.
Yes.
Because it makes a difference, when you are open-minded and you see like different cultures and respect for other cultures and be open to meet other people,
Mhm.
so and accept other cultures, and so be curious about other cultures. This is something amazing, and adapt to a new situation. So it was really helpful for me in all the three situations. So whatever situation I lived in my life, different countries, different work situations, but adapt to myself quickly. It was, I think, the main key for the success.
So when we say that an executive assistant needs to be adaptable, that needs to be practically adaptable. It's not just you're saying it, but you cannot do
Mm.
it.
No, no, definitely.
You have to be somebody who can be put in something and you adapt to it.
Exactly. You need to adapt. And especially when you have a new director,
Mm-hmm.
CEO, you need to adapt it to your director and as
Exactly.
faster as possible, right?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
So you have been very passionate when you look at your LinkedIn, when you look at all your social media handles, you're very passionate about networking. This is something you talk about a lot. I'm
Mhm,
assuming it's because you have benefited a lot from networking. However, we know
mhm,
that assistants, because of the nature of our work, people are very used to being in the background.
mhm,
So, and most assistants would not be very comfortable being out there networking. So,
mhm.
what is it? how do you see networking as an important thing for an assistant to be doing as part of their career development?
It's true, and you just asked me something that is true, and I see a lot of friends and a lot of executive assistants that don't feel, said, oh, I don't need networking because I did not need it, but it's extremely needed. Why? To talking about career development, when we networking and when we meet, especially when we meet our peers,
Mhm.
what happened? We brainstorming, we
Yes.
share knowledge,
Mhm.
we do know we ask questions. So when we do that, we have ideas and said, oh yes, maybe I can use those, this idea to
Mm.
like for my new object goals for next year, for example, because like every year we need to we have some goals. No, normally the companies ask to create goals for each years, and so
Yes.
sometimes you don't have also ideas. So
Mm.
what are you going? So when we brainstorming and when we do network, so in meeting our peers, we share ideas. And
Yes.
this is the idea, is to really create this support team to help us with your career development, your some new goals, or talking about, I don't know, salary expectations,
Mhm.
everything that is related to our career. Does it make sense?
It does. I always share with people when I'm inviting people to come and join the executive PA network. One of the
Mm-hmm.
things I keep telling them is when I was applying for jobs at some point in my life, I did not know what salary expectations to ask.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I always used to give a very low estimate. And of course, the companies will give you that low estimate, even if they
Mm-hmm.
had a higher budget. And then when I was applying for a job at the time when I joined the PA network, I had spoken
Mm-hmm.
to like three other people and they were open about what they were making. And this really helped me when I was applying for the job that I have now,
Mm-hmm.
because I
Very
was
good.
able to actually give a range of a salary which was very close to what they had budgeted. And so they
Mm-hmm.
ended up giving me higher than what I would have asked for if I did not know what assistance meant.
Exactly. Well done.
So, what is it? Can you give like one moment in your networking
Mm.
that you have noticed that you can think of that opened something in you and you are like, huh, I want to do something else?
Mm.
I
I
know there
think
are many.
there are many. But recently something happened. Like I remember last year when I was starting doing my networking and I decided to do conferences. I have insight and I said, I want to do conference and talking about networking. And I remember I said, where have you started? I remember where would be my first conference. I didn't know where to start it. And I remember that I had a lot of contacts of networking um, that regard they organize events like big events summit for executive assistants.
Mhm.
So I said, oh, let me contact them so that maybe they are looking for a speaker.
Yeah.
And voila, and it happened like that. So like last year basically after talking with the three people, so like one of those persons said, yes, Daniela, we are looking for a speaker, and we loved the topic that you suggested, and that's it. So this is how I started with my given conferences, and I said it's amazing to know with the one contact, and they said yes, and of course also because I said I will ask. So it's also the I think a little bit the courage, but to ask. And I said I'm going to ask if they say no, it's no.
It's no,
But
yeah.
no, they said yes. So
Great.
and everything started.
Well, that's amazing. I mean, when you have a big network, you have somebody for everything. So you have somebody who can help you with this, you have somebody who can help you with that, and everything just goes well. So, do you ever feel like your identity has changed when you were busy shifting? So you moved from Brazil, came to Switzerland. Do you ever feel like you're the same person?
It's so funny because sometimes I think I'm not. I said when I think like 20 years ago, and I said, "Am I the same Daniela from 20 years ago?" I'm not sure. I think I am. I mean, I have the same values, but I learned a lot in the last 20. For example, talking about the 20 years, I learned. I developed myself. I understand. I understood my values more, like means my boundaries. I learned how to set up boundaries. That's something that executive assistant, sometimes we have a problem with that, right? To just say no. So and it's true that the last maybe 10 years of my life, a lot, I think a lot of things had changed in myself. So the question is, I'm not sure. I don't. I think it's a new
It
Danielle.
might be a good thing because I don't recognize myself from a few years ago anyway.
It's funny.
So you and I, we are both trained mentors. We did the mentoring course. We believe
Yeah.
in mentoring people who are young in the profession. So if you were to meet a 20-year-old, this is the last question. So if you were to
Mhm.
meet a 20-year-old who is just coming, well, not 20, 25 maybe, who
Let's
is
go.
just
Yeah.
coming to be an executive assistant for the first time, does not have a network, is not convinced that she needs a network because, after all, she already has a job. She does not need a network. What is it that you would advise this him or her to do when it comes to just starting to build your network? What kind of network? Why? How? What would you advise them as a mentor?
I think for someone that is starting a career right now and think
Mhm.
networking is not important and an assistant, executive assistant, I think the most important thing is say, look, do you want it to be uh, to give your full support to your director and give all the answers and find the solutions really quickly. Of course, there is chat GPT or AI that we
Mm,
know that, but nothing better to have on a support team.
mm,
To have a support team, you need to have your like network, so you need to have the connection with your peers. So find your support team,
okay.
because we see an executive and pay network when we need something and said, oh, we are looking for this, we're looking for that, we have answers and people are there
Yes.
to support you. And sometimes it's so quick. We have some examples of the people that said, I had a problem with Air France, and my director was traveling, there was a problem with the flight, and then I contacted, and then someone had the phone from the special telephone number to give to, and you solve the problem like that. And
Yeah.
then when you do that, it's, oh my goodness, it's so important to have your support team,
Yes.
your
Yes.
network.
It's true. Even support staff need support.
Exactly.
All right. Thank you so much, Daniela. Is there anything else that maybe I did not ask that you would like to say about networking that you have not had a chance to say?
I think it's a shame that we executive assistants, we only like find the reason to networking later in our careers. It's really a
Mm,
shame.
yeah.
It's with me start really late in my career. If I knew that when I was 25 years old,
Yeah.
I'm sure it means it was completely different. So my advice, it's if you have your just start your job, a new job, if you are but you are like thinking about your career as well, don't forget to network and to find your support team, be with your peers, to
Mm,
feel stronger and to
mm,
understand how give the best like options and to your director, and to think about your own career development, that
yeah.
most of the time, unfortunately, executive assistants, they don't think about that,
Yeah.
but this is my advice. So
Thank you
thank
so much, Daniela.
you, Mercy, it was really nice to talk with you.
You too.